Tour Junkies.
Boy, oh boy, Tour Junkies Nation, do we have a show for you tonight. Big announcement coming here in just a few minutes. This is the Waste Management. What am I talking about? This is a Genesis Invitational Betting Show 2022. I'm your host, DB. I got Pat Perry with me. We are presented to you by our friends at covers.com. It's the place where winning starts at covers.com. They won. If you were tracking covers for the Super Bowl, you won all over the place. That's facts, okay? It's the place for people who love sports and love to win. They've got every sport imaginable. They got all the tools you need if you're betting, all the analysis, all the free content. The whole thing's free. You can get in a forum with over 500,000 members in the Covers forum and chop it up. You know what I mean? They got free betting contests, expert analysis on games every single day, up to the minute odds screens. You can always make sure you're making your best bet at covers.com. They serve over 20 million sports bettors annually, and they've been doing it 25 years. Covers.com is where you go to start your betting process. It's also where we put our exclusive top 20s, head-to-head bets, an occasional prop bet that we like. We write it up for Covers every single week. It drops on Tuesday afternoon. It's the only place you can find that content from the Tour Junkies, and it's free. And it takes about 6 minutes to read the whole thing. And last week, we killed it. 100% for the matchups. Hit the prop bet of a playoff at the Waste Management plus 330. How you doing? So yeah, Covers is basically it's basically the best. So check it out. Pat, podcast juice tonight. I have poured a heavy pour. I wasn't paying much attention.
Oh, look at you using that 2022
I'm using the national
championship
title. Yep, using the national title. Cup. Go Dogs! And this thing is raring to go. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, I got a little beer tonight again, and this is it's a Lagunitas.
Oh, I went to school with her.
Yeah, a little Lagunitas, and it's called a little something something.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called?
Yeah, a little something.
Okay, good. What speaking of a little something, Pat, bravo, buddy.
Woo!
The winners just keep on rolling. Scotty Scheffler, 30-1. He's on Pat's betting card. Not that anyone really cares, but you should, because he's hit now 5 outright winners for the 2021-2022 season. In fact, there have been 16 events this PGA Tour season that we have covered, and 8 outright winners have been on either my card, 3, or Pat's card, 5. Half the time, if you just tail us, you're crushing it. You're absolutely crushing it. People crushed it last week, Pat. They tailed you on Scotty Scheffler. We had major hits in the Nut Hut again. Another $100,000 big win. Our boy Kobe. Tons of people winning big tickets. Tim Gaiman, he got him a ticket to the Millie, the 44, whatever it is, Millionaire Maker this week. Hoping he does a good job in there representing for TJ. It was just a huge week. Shout out to where is he? Well, no, that's on the DraftKings show. It was just a big week, man, and Scheffler pulled through for you. It's good to see.
Yeah, it was exciting. You know, it's about damn time for Scheffler. I mean, the guy is just so super talented. I mean, I don't know how many people have played on a Ryder Cup like he did without a win. But he got that win finally. It was great to see. You know, Cantlay and his boring self, you know, whatever. He's so damn good. He's just so good. So good. But still, I was happy to see Scheffler win. It was a great tournament. I mean, there's so many things we could talk about with this tournament. We could do an entire show just talking about all the different things that happened this week. Whether it was Harry Higgs and Joel taking their shirts off, you know, Sam Ryder's hole-in-one, Ortiz had the hole-in-one, Charlie Hoffman with his comment. I mean, there's so many things we could talk about, but we don't have time for it. But it was a big week.
There was a lot to cover this past week, and you know, our folks like us to keep it moving and move right along, which we're going to do, and we're about to get to this big announcement here very shortly. I will say this, though. Our boy Scotty Scheffler now makes 2 winners in a row that have been winning gaming the Fujikura Ventus shaft in the driver. That's right. Tom Hoagie did it at Pebble. He had the new Ventus from Fujikura, and now Scotty Scheffler, who actually just put it in the bag. The reps have been talking to him for a few weeks, and he made the switch a few weeks ago. put the Ventus in the driver and finished 4th in strokes gained off the tee last week. He's got the Ventus Black in the driver. In fact, Fujikura was the #1 driver, fairway wood, and hybrid at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, just like they were the week before. Around 38% of the field had the Fujikura shaft in their driver. And the new Ventus TR is just crushing it right now. It's a new mid-launch, low-spin profile, new material added to provide additional stability for you folks who can't keep it in the yard, which is me. The TR is a great new addition to the Ventus line. And the Ventus TR is available for $350 MSRP to buy online, or you can go through custom fittings at any charter dealer right now, which you should do. And we talk about it all the time. You know, you guys hit us up with questions and stuff about playing golf and getting into golf. It doesn't matter if you're a 20 handicap or a 0. You need to get fitted for every club in your bag. Don't buy a club off the rack. And if you're going to go get fit, call ahead of time, check them out online, and make sure they carry Fujikura products, because it's just the best in the game for real. I have it in my driver. It helps my towards. And, you know, Pat doesn't need a lot of help with his towards, but for me, it helps a lot. And it clearly helped Scotty
It
Scheffler
helps your
just like
what?
it did. My towards.
You
The
like your
direction.
directions?
Yeah, the towards.
Okay, the towards. All right.
Yeah, like it's going toward there or toward over there. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
That's a technical golf term I haven't heard before.
Yeah, maybe needing some redneck translation there. A couple of quick updates this week, though. The DP World Tour apparently has canceled 2 events for COVID. Didn't even know that was a thing anymore. Canceling golf tournaments due to COVID, but it's happened. So our boy Mark Hill has nothing for us for the next few weeks. So, you know, props to Mark. He can rest up. I know he's had a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Our boy Garrett Simmons, though, on the Corn Ferry Tour podcast, the Corn Ferry Tour Junkies podcast, which you need to check out and download and subscribe and check it out here on the YouTube channel. They got the Suncoast Classic this week. They're heading back to the States for the first time this season. They're in Florida. Garrett's super familiar with these tracks, these players. Obviously hit a big winner his first week out, and he's been dancing around the leaderboard ever since. So the Suncoast Classic is this week. Check it out. He's having to drop these podcasts real late on Tuesdays or sometimes early on Wednesdays because the books aren't getting odds out very quickly for this. So maybe now that the Super Bowl is over, these books will move a little quicker, and Garrett will have more, a little more time to get the show out. So you're going to want to check that out, though, when it hits. All right, Pat, I think we got some other stuff coming down the way and the big announcement here upcoming, but do we need to talk about Riviera first? You got any more Scotty Scheffler gloating?
No, you know, I was excited about the win. I'm happy for him, and we'll move on to the next week because this is a big week.
This
It's
is
a
a
big
huge
week,
week.
DB. We got a great field. I think I read where all the top 10 players in the world are here, unless somebody has anybody. But before I get into this, has anybody withdrawn that I don't know about? Because that's always something that we know that sometimes I don't happen to see those. Okay.
Yeah, and our boy AC's got the week off. He's heading to Vegas, so he's not in the Nut Hut to let us know. I'll tell you, as quick as like last week, I can't remember who it was. I mean, I was like 4 minutes after the PGA Tour Communications Twitter account tweeted out that this person was out, and I go into the Nut Hut to add it to the ins and outs, and AC's already in there.
Yeah.
He might run the PGA Tour comms account. I don't know of any withdrawals so far, Pat.
Okay, good. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about the course then. We are at the classic Riviera Country Club this week in Pacific Palisades. So basically Los Angeles, California for the Genesis Invitational. It is a par 71, just over 7,300 yards. We've got 120 players in the field this week. It's an invitational, so you don't have as many players as you typically have in a normal tour event. Means probably you're going to get a few more 6 of 6 lineups this week. So you got to be, you got to have 6 of 6, I think, to cash. The cut is T65 and ties after Friday. The fairways here and rough are actually Kikuya. We got Kikuya this week. POA greens that run very quick, about 12 on the step meter. 3 par 5s this week. They're 503, 583, and 590 yards. You would think with this old kind of classic design, it's tight, tree-lined fairways, that kind of thing, that, bombers might not necessarily have an advantage. But if you look at the past champions here, bombers have definitely had an advantage on this course. The rough does not tend to be too penal if you do miss the fairways. And there's a lot of dog legs here where these guys can cut corners. And so length has proven to make a little bit of a difference on this course. Couple things here. These greens are relatively small. They're very undulating. So if you do miss the greens, I think scrambling is going to be something that we want to look at. Definitely going to look at putting on POA. But I think another thing is with these fairways being difficult to hit, you really got to position yourself well off the tee and then just give yourself great angles into these greens to attack them this week. But it's a very difficult course. I mean, it plays as one of the most difficult courses on tour all year long. I do like experience here, as I tend to like on your more difficult courses. We saw that at Torrey Pines. That's another course where I like to see the guys that have some experience on this course. As far as stats for me, looking at course history, as I mentioned, recent form, strokes gained off the tee, approach. Also going to look at scrambling and putting on Poana greens. Let's see. Your past champions, Max Homa last year at 12 under. Adam Scott the year before that at 11 under. I think that was his last win on tour. Could be wrong. JB Holmes. 14 under in 2019. Where is JB? Is he still hurt?
I don't know. Don't care.
Anyway, Bubba won here in 2018, which was his third win here. He's definitely had some history here. DJ in 2017, and then Bubba in 2015. Haven't looked at the weather yet, actually. You may have looked at it. I will say this.
It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful week.
Yeah. By the way, this is the final event on the West Coast tour, or the West Coast swing. So we'll be in Florida next week. That's all my notes that I have.
It's coming, man. It is coming. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, I think, the rough isn't too bad out here, like you said. You can definitely find tree trouble if you're too far gone, or you don't hit the right angle here. But the Bombers have definitely thrived here. But it doesn't mean that your more accurate types can get along by hitting a lot of fairways and being able to hold these greens. The greens are tough. They're fast. They're slopey. They're POA. It is what it is. I wrote down, got to do it all here. Strokes gained everywhere. It's just, it is truly a great test of golf. That's why the best in the world are here, I think. The course has stood the test of time. So you got to have somebody clicking on all cylinders. You got to have somebody, I think, with some experience here. I agree. Even Data Golf points out that this is one of those courses where course history tends to matter more than in other courses. It definitely shows up. And, you got to have good form coming in here. I don't want anyone popping up in here that is looking for it, right? This is in a strokes gained everywhere event where big numbers can lurk and your cut line is usually around even or +1. The course is going to play more difficult, and the cream rises to the top, and you better be gaming, so you got to have some good form coming in. From an odds standpoint, we haven't seen anybody really a long shot win other than JB Holmes, who won at 150 to 1 a few years ago. But Homa was 60 to 1. I guess that's considered a long shot. Not for us, but, it's kind of more the mid-range for us. But, Scott at 33, Bubba at 50, DJ 9 to 1, Bubba again at 25. Like, there's just a lot of the best players playing here, and they tend to win. So, the betting card is going to look a little different than it's looked in the last, well, maybe not last week, but, Amex, Farmers, that kind of thing. Like, this is not necessarily a long shot season golf course and golf tournament.
I do not think so.
You got the Kikuya, which you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I think your South Africans and Aussies, we say this every year. South Africans and Aussies, they find themselves familiar with the old Kikuya. They like the stuff. They think it's,
I didn't even think about that, but somehow I have a lot of Aussies and
there you go. It's
don't
the
really
7 years of doing this, and the
Yeah.
subconscious pulls
they
it in
just
there.
filter into the thing. DB, I know you have an announcement, but I have to talk about something. This actually might help you.
Okay.
Through your announcement.
No.
I'm
actually kind of nervous about the announcement.
I wouldn't be. That's why you poured such a big drink. I knew that going out.
Boy.
When take a little sip of that real quick. Did you just do that? Or
I did. I'll do another one.
Take another one. You know what I love is HelloFresh, DB.
Praise God. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. HelloFresh is the #1 meal kit in America. It's America's #1 meal kit. Okay.
Duh.
HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm fresh produce.
Yeah. There we go.
Including farm fresh produce that arrives within a week. So you get convenience without skimping on quality. Skip the trip to the grocery store, saving you the wait and long lines and ensuring you don't waste money on excess food. I love HelloFresh. I'm going to tell you something about HelloFresh in a minute, but first off, this is kind of a cold time of year, even in the South. So you could even warm yourself up from the inside out, okay? With limited time recipes inspired by cozy classics from around the world, like beef tenderloin and cheese fondue. That sounds amazing.
Oof. Yeah.
Or miso sesame shrimp and bacon ramen. Okay, anything with bacon is good, but you throw some miso and some sesame and some shrimp in there. That sounds really good to me. HelloFresh is 72% cheaper also than a restaurant meal of the same quality, and you can save on average over $65 per month when you order HelloFresh instead of grocery shopping. Okay, that's money back in your pocket. DB, you may need some money back in your pocket.
Yeah.
So go to HelloFresh. Here's what you need to do. By the way, I had this thing. They sent me this Monterey Jack cheese burger recipe.
Very good.
It was the most amazing thing ever. But the best part was these potatoes that they send.
Yeah.
And they're like cleaned and fresh, and all you pretty much, I mean, like, I don't even think you have to rinse them. You just cut them up. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. HelloFresh, you could tell, but I just cut them up. They have the stuff you put on them, just makes it taste so good. Like, they have all the ingredients in there. You don't have to do anything. Nothing. You don't have to search your pantry or your spice cabinet for anything extra. It's all right there in the package. It's amazing. So here's what you need to do. Go to HelloFresh.com/TourJunkies16 and use code TourJunkies16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
Dang, that's good.
HelloFresh.com/TourJunkies16, code TourJunkies16, up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. 3 free grifts.
And our boy Charlie Oliver in the chat.
Yeah, I love Charlie. Charlie doesn't even
produce.
Like, I don't think he. Yeah, it's. God.
Oh gosh.
Thank you, Charlie. Anyway, HelloFresh is fantastic.
Pat.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I need to pour a beer.
Tonight's a special night, people.
Yeah, tonight.
It's a real special night. It's about to get specialer, to be honest. And in fact, thinking about tonight, I decided to. I don't know if you noticed, Pat, but I even decided to wear.
I did notice.
Look at that. That's the first Tour Junkies T-shirt ever printed back in 2015 or 2016. We probably printed.
Yeah,
this.
We wore it at the PGA show, I think, in 2016.
So
I noticed you were wearing that. I figured I would let you.
We had them made in 2015. Then, dang. Yeah, first logo right there. Now, if you got one of these shirts, put that in the chat. Send that to us on Twitter. Tag us or something. Put that shirt on. Because that's a throwback there. Look at that thing. Tour Junkies, gain your edge. We've been doing it a long time, Pat. And, for a long time, we've been grinding, doing this thing with full-time jobs and families and kids and, life. And,
lots of life.
Yeah. We just, we wanted it to be a big thing, man. It's our passion. It's what we love. It's what we want to do. We love golf. We're golf nuts. And I am extremely excited to announce and to say that effective February 28th, so 2 Monday nights from now, I will be coming at you as full-time DB. Wow! That's right, people. I've quit my job. I've quit my job as the COO of a software company to do Tour Junkies full-time, and I'm a little scared, but I'm super excited, super grateful. It's going to be an awesome ride. It's already been an awesome ride. It's going to be an awesomer ride. Cannot thank you guys, the listeners, the people who, listen every week, who read the articles, who open the emails, who follow on social, who, interact on social, who do all the things for us. The listeners who, when we have a sponsor, you use them. You go to the sponsor site, you check it out. All those things over the years have added up for us, and we've continued to grow this thing, and we've continued to put a lot of heart and soul and effort into it. And I'm excited to go full time. I will be way more excited when my boy Pat goes full time. So we still got work to do, people. We still got work to do. Don't Don't rest on your laurels. All right. Don't say, oh, the full-time DB finally happened. Now I don't have to do anything. No, we got to get Pat full-time. Everybody wants more Pat. This is probably not going to be an exciting announcement for some people because they don't like me. Even some people in the DFS
I'm sure there
betting
is.
community. But you will see more of me. You will see more of me, and you'll still see, same amount of Pat. But we need more Pat. So we got to keep going, keep rallying the troops. But I cannot thank Pat enough for all that you've done, sir. All that you've committed to Tour Junkies. It has been a grind for 7 years, and it's fun, but it's a lot of work, and we've done it together. I can't thank the Props Network, Kyle and Sam, producer Sam, enough for helping us get here. Pat Mayo, the godfather, the pioneer of this whole thing, the one that really inspired me and Pat to do this, the one that we were listening to in 2015. And Pat's done a lot for a lot of people and continues to do a lot for us. So I'm super grateful for Pat Mayo and all the listeners. But also, last but not least, our wives, because they have sacrificed more than anyone listening to this show could possibly know. And every Monday night, literally probably 98% of Monday nights for the last 7 years at minimum have been dedicated to this. And our wives have put kids to bed and done, school stuff late at Monday nights and tolerated this whole thing for that long, not to mention all the other stuff. And Kristen and Sally, we can't be more grateful and appreciative for you. My wife, Kristen, has been extremely supportive in this whole thing for me and integral in me making this decision. And, honestly, about 3 months ago, she started calling me, basically saying I was being a wussy for not making the jump.
Did she use that word wussy, or did she change some lettering?
I don't know. Can't confirm or deny. She basically was like, you need to sack up and do it. And then I was just scared. I've always worked for somebody else. I've always had the golden corporate handcuffs to some extent. But as of 2/28, boys and girls, DB is full time. That does mean a lot more content coming, as much as I can handle, as much as I can do. So in the YouTube comments, please do this. Please, please, please do this. This is legit. This is more than just helping the algorithm. In the YouTube comments, tell me what kind of content you want. What do you want to see? I know there's plenty of stuff out there that we could copy, that we could do the same thing. Some of that we might do, some of that we won't. But what do you want? Is it more YouTube content? Is it podcasts? Is it articles? Is it emails? Is it interviews? I'm sure for all of you, it's TikToks. You want more of my TikToks. I'm sure that's what it is. So put that in the YouTube comments and let us know what we can do. Give me some ideas. It also means we might need more help along the way. So, listen, if you're a Tour Junkies diehard and you want to get involved, let us know. Just slide in our DMs, email us info@tourjunkies.com. Not saying we got anything for you right now, but, hopefully this thing snowballs and we need more help to get Pat full time. That's the next agenda, man. That's the next item on the agenda.
Absolutely. Are you done?
Thank you, David Speaks, for that generous donation of $100 again in the super chat. David Speaks continuing to come through for us. So
that's a few Hello Fresh meals.
Yeah. Well, I will gladly take that now.
Yeah.
I'm nervous as I can be about this. Let me just tell you, I'm excited, but I'm scared.
Well, I'm excited too. As a matter of fact, when I get excited, DB, I actually like to write songs. But before I get into a song, okay, because I did write a song for the occasion. I'll say this. I'll speak from the heart a little bit. I do appreciate. I'm excited for you. I think this is a big step for you, y'all. DB does a lot of work for Tour Junkies week in and week out, and this is the culmination of a lot of that work. So, damn it, couldn't be more proud.
Thanks,
for DB.
man. Yeah, I can't believe I made it through that without tearing up.
Can you believe, too, we sat in that office like 7 years or 8 years, whenever that was, and this is where we are. It's amazing to me.
7 years ago, I borrowed money from my parents to buy our first run of merchandise. And so when I told my mom I was quitting my job, she was like, "What?" Yeah, look at Sam. Yes, this picture here is the first. Oh, sorry.
Well, you got to get started over, Sam. You went too early, Sam.
Look at that picture.
Okay, now you can start it, Sam. I'm going to sing a song. No, you got to start it from the beginning, Sam. Damn it. Jeez.
I'm going to video this.
So this is not good.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the song, Pat. I'm going to try it one more time for you, all right? Hang in there. It's going to be worth it, people, I promise.
Anyway, I wrote this song just for this occasion.
This is beautiful, man.
Yeah. Oh. And I thought this was a good little tune, little ditty for this moment. So we'll wait till Sam. Yeah. Okay, there's the end of it. That was good. And I'm finished.
Maybe now it'll start over.
Anyway, very excited for this moment.
Just play it on your phone.
I can.
That would be the ratchet Tour Junkies way to do it.
That really would be the racket way to do it.
Technical, difficult way to make it happen. Oh man.
Filler.
I don't know, man. I'm still working through it. I'm trying to hold it together. Oh, these pictures are gonna make me laugh. That first picture, trying to teach you. That was the first and last time I ever tried to teach Pat how to actually edit a podcast in GarageBand. That was right when we first started. We were like 4 episodes in. Pat was at the house and I was trying to teach it, and I just gave up. And I've never even gone back and tried again.
I've never tried myself. I've never even tried.
We've done 400 episodes. Pat's never edited one.
Nope, never done it. And we spent all that time on it. I think I just enjoyed the company and drinking together.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. Look at that.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to play the song?
Making your way in the PGA betting and DFS world today takes all the time you got. Making a break from all your worky sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to make TikToks all day? Full time you are to go, so everybody knows Tour Junkies' name. And we get more fucking fame. I'll still have a real job, but that's okay. It's time for things to change. You're going full time and everybody's gonna know Tour Junkies. You gotta go so we can grow. Things will never be the same. DB is full time and everybody's gonna know Tour Junkies.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we got through that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat.
I felt like Cheers was the best music.
Yeah.
You know, I learned of this song I was gonna have to sing, or not have to, but I thought about a song this morning. And Cheers, the Cheers theme song was the first thing that popped in my head. So that's what I'm with. So
thank you, Sam. Could we still show the pictures? The talk through just a couple of these pictures, maybe. I don't know if there was a slideshow on those. Yeah, so that's the one. Look at that microphone. That was like a $30 microphone.
Yeah.
Look at us. We look like babies, Pat.
Yeah. Look at
I was in the fall of 2015. There's the 2 ladies right there, man. Those 2 right there. Those 2 dimes.
Yes.
Boy, they have they've meant a lot to us. They've done a lot. They've always rocked TJ whenever possible. We appreciate Kristen.
Was that Quail Hollow, by the way? Remember how freaking hot it was that day? Oh,
yeah,
God.
That was right after. This is a great picture of me and Pat's relationship. I was trying to
Quail Hollow.
Coerce Pat to get up and come do something. He was being rude. Yeah. And look at this, bro. Look at that. Look at Pat's face.
Gosh.
Stay right here for a second. So this was on the fantasy sports, whatever this was. This was in 2016. 2016.
Matt Brown. That's Matt Brown?
This is the first time
we tag Matt Brown in this. If this
we do. This is the first time we had ever done any sort of appearance on anybody else's show in early 2016. We were at my parents' house because it was a neutral place. This is when Pat still lived in Augusta. He had just gotten off his banking job. He's like ripping the tie off to try not to look like a banker on camera. But the thing I love about this is obviously that it dates how long we've been doing this. But hell, it's pre-LASIK for me. I had to wear glasses. But to me, this is like a total reminder of how far Pat has come on camera. Because, I mean, I know you can't see him here, and we both weren't great. But you were just so uncomfortable. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Every time we had to get on camera. And for the first couple years of the show, we didn't do anything on YouTube. It was all audio. We should have started YouTube long ago. But every time Pat had to get on camera for anything, he was very uncomfortable. Did not want to
nervous. Super, super nervous.
And literally just like plowed through it to now he's singing in front of thousands of people, or, thousands of people are listening. He's singing and making up stupid songs and just doesn't care. He's hosted shows on video before. It shows you've come a long way in your skill set, buddy. Sam said you like you're holding a big fart in that picture.
Yeah, right. I don't. I look. God.
Now this is 2016 at the Masters. We hosted. Look
how strong I look kind of strong in that picture. That's a good stance for me. I like that.
That's you're the starting third baseman for whatever church softball team you're playing on here. This was when we reached out to the guys at No Laying Up in 2016 and said, "Hey, you guys are doing okay." This is long before even No Laying Up blew up. We were like, "You guys are doing okay. We'd like to pick your brain. We're going to host you to the Masters if you want to come." We hosted Tron and Neil Schuster. Love those guys, the brothers. Hosted those guys to Augusta National, walked around for a day, picked their brain on what they were doing. They helped us out. They were super nice. We were on their podcast at one point. We did an article or two on their website. They just talked to us a lot about how they were getting started. And now they've like exploded. I also laugh at those shirts because some dude hit us up with a shirt company and was like, "I want to give you these shirts." I'm looking back on them and like the one you were wearing especially is probably the ugliest shirt we've ever owned.
It's pretty bad. And it's very uncomfortable. Which I'm all about comfort.
Great in that shirt though. All right. Yeah. That's good, man. That's good. Is there another one or is that it? I don't remember. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Same day with Baldo. Wow.
Yeah, and that was when
that's not as good of a stance for me. The stance took a turn for the worse.
That's also that's probably a few barbecue sandwiches and egg salad, pimento cheeses in. But that was the year. That was the famous time when Pat went off on Baldo, never having met Baldo, but went off on him on the show. Baldo hears it, tweets us. We end up having a phone conversation with him, and Pat's famous Baldo apology is issued over a Boyz II Men song. And the friendship began. That is still running strong. We were just texting with Baldo the other day. He's a great guy, great human, great Aussie, and he was a great sport about that whole thing. We met him that day. It was very fun for me. Love Baldo. Oh, God. Good stuff, man. Memories. That was awesome. Appreciate you guys. I'm excited about it. Let us know in the comments. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to happen? And you can't say, like, I want more Pat, because Pat's doing the maximum amount he can do. So if you want more Pat, you need to just keep nut hutting and, reading the emails and listening to the podcast. Tell your friends. That's what we need you to do. That's the best thing you can do about any of this is tell somebody about the show. Tell your golf buddies about the show, about the podcast. Send it to them. Send them a link. Link the podcast. Text it to them. Tell them to listen to it. Tell them to get involved. Tell them to listen to a few shows. Sometimes it takes a minute for people to get into this, but that's enough of that, man. I just I can't be more excited about it. So, and I appreciate all of you very much. Thank you so much. Let's go. Let's get into it. That's enough of that.
Yeah, let's talk some bets.
Song was great, Pat. God dang.
Thanks to Sam for the help. Sam had a lot of help in that.
Producer Sam is pushing us to the limits, isn't he?
He really is.
By the way, we didn't even talk about this. The best part of my week, probably, I literally tweeted this. I don't care if I had never win another bet. Winning the Jackson Mahomes.
We didn't even. I thought we were going to get through without having to.
Winning the Taylor Gooch over Tony Finau bet by a landslide. I mean, I really didn't even have to sweat it.
It was not even close. It really was.
Finau sucked. He trunk slammed early. Gooch had a chance to win the dang thing until like his second hole on Sunday. To win that bet, and that means that we have a Pat Perry, Jackson Mahomes style TikTok dance coming our way in the very near future. I cannot be more excited about. once that hits, we'll obviously put it on TikTok. We'll also share it here on the show. But I'm thrilled that I won that bet. That was one bet. I honestly, I would have eat out another pumpkin and done that over not winning that bet.
After I knew I was going to lose, which was Thursday, I went and watched some of his TikTok. It's so bad.
No, it's terrible.
It's so bad. Like I feel like I could do a better dance than even he does.
Well, we're going to see about that. I want facial expressions, all that. All right, we got to get into the betting.
We got to get into the betting. All right.
Sam's prodding us along.
Sam's, gosh. Just
all right, favorites up to 25-1. I'll make this snappy. It's, you got Jon Rahm at the top of the board. I'm going with Cam Smith at 22-1 is the best number. You can find him on DK. And then DJ, which he's 16-1 on DraftKings, but last I looked, he's 18-1 on BetMGM if you can get BetMGM. So I like DJ and Cam Smith up here at the top. I'm fading Jon Rahm, and it's strictly because of price. Like, you got to pick a guy to fade in here, and I'm not going to play him at 8-1. This is a stacked field. John, I mean, he's playing great, and he's played great here. But, I mean, it does seem like for the world number one, he's been a little out of the conversation for the last few weeks. He's definitely kind of snuck up at the last minute. You're like, oh, dang, Jon Rahm finished 10th or Jon Rahm finished 3rd. That's weird. Because he's just not a part of the story on Sundays. I think for me, that's the only reason. I mean, is really the value there. But DJ coming in here, having played a good event already, solid showing a few weeks back in 2022, obviously loves Rivera, great record here. 18-1 if you can get it on MGM. And then Cam Smith at 22-1. I talked about the Aussies. They love this place. You got to be good all around. Strokes in around the green matters a lot here. That's something he's great at. He's familiar with that Kikuya. He's playing well. He did burn me a little bit at the Sony Open with that missed cut, but I'm going to forgive him for that. And I'm going to roll with him here at 22-1. I like the value there on Cam Smith, even over names like Xander, Rory, the guy Scotty Scheffler just won. I mean, I honestly feel more confident in Cam Smith closing the door and winning a golf tournament than I do Xander and possibly Rory right now. That's just, I mean, maybe that's a hot take. I don't know.
Can't seem to close the tour lately.
He can't. So I'm looking at it like, yeah, I think if Cam Smith's in contention, he'll do it. He'll do it. He took down Rahm at the Tournament of Champions, toe-to-toe with Jon Rahm, like on a Sunday, like no questions asked. So, I mean, I'm believing in Cam Smith this week.
Okay. Well, I will say I am with you on Cam Smith. I think he's a great bet this week. So I love him this week. I do like Rory. I mean, that I'm just a sucker for Rory. I will play him, most events, but still, I mean, you're still getting him at about, that 22-1 number. I like that for him. So even though he hasn't been able to close the door lately, he has been right there, on a lot of leaderboards lately. So I do like Rory. I actually kind of want to stay away from DJ. I like DJ in DFS. Really? But I don't know if I like him as much at 16-1 as I like to maybe play him in DFS for those lineups. So he's going to be my stay away guy. But Rory and Cam Smith were my two guys under 25-1.
I mean, tough to avoid DJ, I think. I mean, given his history at Riviera, given how much he loves Riviera, played the Farmers, finished 25th, whatever. But that's his first event of the that we've seen him play since October. But he gained 8.3 strokes tee to green in the first event back. 8.3. He was rusty with the putter, lost over 2 strokes with the putter. Now he's coming to a place that he putts the lights out. I don't know how. I don't agree with that at all. That's an interesting one. A lot of these guys we're going to talk about in the DFS show. I see a question about Victor Hovland. Can he bounce back? Yes, I think he can.
I think he can.
We'll talk more extensively about this top end range on the DFS show for sure. So let's get to the mid range here, Pat. Up to that 75-1 number. This is where I got a feeling we'll both be camping out a lot. Like my big balls betting card will probably have a lot of names in here just for the value, right? I mean, Max Homa, Adam Scott, well, JB Holmes even longer, Bubba Watson. 3 of your last 4 winners would have come from this range. So even though it's a top heavy field, you do have the top 10 in the world here. Now, this is the strongest field we've had in, I think, ever at this golf tournament. So there's definitely a lot of implied odds to win up there at the top. But these guys can do it, man. They can definitely do it. Will Zalatoris at 28-1. He's a guy that's catching a lot of steam at the moment. His numbers already has been dropping all day. I think he was at 35-1 when a lot of sports books opened. He's dropping. So if you want to bet Willie Z, I think you need to get that done now. Brooks coming off a good week at 35. Sam Burns there at 40. Adam Scott, past champ here. Bubba Watson, past champ, 45 to 1. I tell you a couple names in here I like the most. I like Leishman a lot. He's 50 to 1 on DraftKings. He was 60 to 1. He's already dropped. So if you want Leishman, I think he's catching some steam as well. Great record here. Another Aussie playing well. Leishman makes a lot of sense to me. And then Thomas Peters at 70 to 1. Guy just won over on the DP World Tour. He's got experience here at Riviera. Didn't he play here for some amateur event he won or something? Or he played, I don't know.
think he won a college event here.
Something, yeah. He's had a top 5 here before in the past. I know that, hits it a long way, fits the course here very, very well. And then Adam Scott's intriguing me a little bit. I'm thinking about Adam Scott. He always makes me nervous, but I think 45 to 1 is an interesting value. Scott's been playing well overseas already in 2022. I think he could pop for people. I don't know. I'll stick to that. There's other names in here I like, but those are probably 3 of my favorites.
Yeah, I like Adam Scott. I was actually surprised you mentioned him, but he was one of those that I liked this week. Willie Z, I think, is pretty good there at 28 to 1. Also, I can't believe you didn't even mention the guy that you just won a bet off of, Taylor Gooch. You bet between you and I guess. I mean, he has a fantastic course history here, has always played well. As a matter of fact, I think I saw where if you look over the last 5 or 6 years, the best scoring average on this course, Taylor Gooch is 6 or 7 in that range. So I think you get him at 55 to 1. He played well last week, kind of faltered a little bit on Sunday, but still like him at that number. And then, even though Sam Burns has missed a couple cuts in a row, I like that 40 to 1 number on Sam Burns. I mean, we had him here last year as an outright, and he didn't win, and he was a little bit longer than Homa, because we did have Homa as the outright too, which was nice to hit that. But we also had Sam Burns I think he was like 120 to 1 or maybe 100 to 1. He was up there.
This is the beginning of the Burns run, I believe.
And so I like him there even at 40 to 1. I think that's a good number also. So
and he's he's missed the last 2 cuts. The irons are still, solid. He's struggled a little bit off the tee. Irons were solid last week. So I think he's close. It's definitely an interesting case for Sam Burns.
Yeah. Dare I say at the top end of this range that we take a look at Kevin Na.
Oh, no.
It's 75 to 1.
Really?
There's something about it. He's got a pretty good history here. He's had a second place finish back in 2018. That was coming off of a T4 the year before. I don't know. This could be a Kevin Na week. Now, maybe that's more for the DraftKings or the DFS show, but
Kevin Na wins a tournament every year, doesn't he? Hadn't he won a win every year for the last 4 years or something? Now he has come out hot. First 2 events of 2022, he's gained 8.8 strokes tee to green in 2 events, the Century and the Sony.
So well on Poana greens.
Not bad there. I feel like for an outright, I don't know. You're right. He's one of those at 75 to 1 though that he's long enough. You just know that if the guy's in contention and he's feeling himself on a Sunday, he is not scared of anyone in this field.
No.
But you also have to be, very well aware that unlike some of these other guys who might, finish top 5 for you if you can get an each way or something, he's liable to win or, finish 50th or miss the cut or something. That's an interesting one. I don't know.
Anyway, that's interesting. There's the long range guys, though. There's just not a ton that I really want to go to, and I think it's just because of the way this field is. So
yeah,
I have a few in here, but not a ton.
All right, go ahead.
Well, if we're going over, 75 to 1, I think. How about Alex Noren coming off of a good finish this last week? He's sitting there at 80 to 1. I think that's a pretty good number for Alex.
He just did it in the way he always effing does it, and it drives me nuts. I never get Alex Noren right, but he did it gaining 7.5 strokes putting. You know, I mean, and yes, he was positive in all the other categories, but he gained 3.5 tee to green, which was good. But like, I just never can get this fool right. We've got a trend of first-time PGA Tour winners going on right now, and Alex Noren could be one of them.
I
But
mean, he could,
I'm out.
and he's played well here. T12 last year, top 16 in 2018. I think he's one of those guys that you have to ride when he's hot, and he's in good form if you go by just a week prior here. So I think Noren could be someone who's in play.
You'll be dog cussing Noren to me me and Sam in our text thread. You'll be dog cussing him
because he'll be in contention on Sunday and he'll just totally screw it up.
if he makes it to Sunday. I bet he doesn't. You're pissed.
It could be. How about Seabez? We get Seabez at 100 to 1. It's his first time, which I don't like. I don't like the fact that this is his first time here playing. But he is in good form. Definitely checks a decent amount of boxes here. He's 22nd in the field in strokes gained approach. He's top 25 in ball striking. He's, putts decent on Poana greens, checks the box and strokes gained off the tee. So I think Seabez could be interesting here at that number. It's popping on the screen here at 90 to 1, but I've seen him at 100 to 1 at other places. So I think that could be a decent play as well. Another one that I'm wondering about, I don't know if I'm not very convicted about playing him, because we just saw where he was one of those guys that people just don't ask about for injuries. But Cameron Tringale, he's sitting here at 80 to 1. He's an Orange County guy, okay? Grew up in California, grew up in the area. He's got a decent history on this course. I am worried a little bit about the injury because we don't know, but maybe we'll get some information this week.
I don't think it was anything. I think he's probably good.
Yeah. So Tringale could be interesting at 80 to 1. So
I can't believe you're the one talking up Tringale.
I always talk up Tringale.
No, I am. I'm the one that talks.
No, I'm always the one that me.
Okay. Good question here in the chat from Kyle Miller. I think we need to hit this. Is Pat Reed done? 90 to 1 would be an auto bet typically for Patrick Reed. Can we believe we've seen Patrick Reed at 90 to 1 to win a golf tournament? I don't think Patrick Reed is done by any means. Like, is he slumping? It does appear that way that he is. I mean, his slump doesn't look as bad as, maybe Jordan Spieth's or Ricky Fowler's has looked in years past, but he's definitely not doing great. His last decent finish was a runner-up at the Bermuda. I mean, that was in October, like the end of October. Do we really think – so he finished runner-up at Bermuda, which is totally a crappy field, right? Horrible field compared to this. But if he finished runner-up at Bermuda just a couple months ago, like 4 months ago, is it really that far out of the question that he could win this week at Riviera? Now, this is a place he's never really played all that great. His best finish is a 51st at this place, so not fantastic. I don't like the number for P. Reed at 90 to 1. I mean, it is kind of crazy to think about. What's his top 20 number? He's plus 275 to top 20. I don't know. It feels more like a DFS play, a top 20 bet, maybe a top 10 if you really want to get out there a little bit. But I just don't know that I see him going from where he is to on a course that he typically doesn't do very well to then winning. But that's just me. What do you think about P. Reed?
Yeah, I don't.
You're good.
I think he's ready to go on to the Saudi League.
We'll be talking about that in the DFS show, by the way. All right. Well, I got two names here I'm going to give you. And the first one, we all know it's coming. All right. So just go ahead and buckle up, strap up. It's Luke List. Now, David, he finished.
I had left him for you.
He finished 53rd at the Phoenix, man. He sucked at the Phoenix Open. Well, okay. He finished 23rd in the field in strokes gained tee to green, still gained almost 5 strokes tee to green. He had his worst putting performance since August of 2020. And that surface is a very unique surface. It's like a Bermuda bent POA mix. It's like a mutt of putting surfaces, okay? He loves POA. That's the putting surface he's comfortable on. He's a California. He's got a lot of experience in California, plays well over there. You took him out of California for a week, put him in the desert of Arizona. He sucked on the putting, so now he's back. But I'm gonna say this: if there's one more time all year that you bet Luke List, it's this week. It's this week at Riviera. I know he just won. I know you're thinking DB, you're high on your Luke List hit a couple weeks ago. Yes. But like I said a couple weeks ago on our podcast, on our interview with Luke back in the fall, 2 places he loved the most, Torrey Pines, Riviera. Well, he just won Torrey Pines, but he gushed about Riviera on our podcast. It's his favorite course on tour. It's his favorite tournament on tour. He's got decent finishes here. He's still hitting it great. He hits it plenty long. He's missed 2 cuts here in his career out of 6 tries. He's got a 30th, a 15th, a 26th, and a 20th. He's usually always gaining strokes tee to green at this place. He's gained strokes tee to green 6 out of 7 years. And he's even been, positive or neutral putting in half the time. So this is a place Luke List loves and is special to him. He's 80-1. I think you get it and be excited about it. You should be. And the next one is Lanto Griffin at 90-1. I like Lanto.
He kept kind of flashing, like he had some flashing lights on him for some reason.
Well, I mean, the reason is because he's hitting it so good right now. I mean, his tee to green play, ball striking, he's checking boxes everywhere. We just saw him finish 3rd at the Amex, 16th at Pebble Beach, finished 30th at Farmers at Torrey Pines. Made 2 cuts here when he's tried it. This will be his 3rd time playing it. He finished 37th the first year, 26th last year, so a little bit of improvement there here at Riviera. He likes tough golf courses. I see Lanto as a tough course kind of guy, a bogey avoidance kind of guy. I like that for Lanto. So I'll ride with Lanto, a PGA Tour winner, at 90-1 if I'm going to have a long shot here. Anybody else over that 130-1 number, like a super long shot, or is that kind of it? I got like what do we? There's 2 guys in here. One guy you always love, Patrick Rogers.
That's it. That was what I was about to say.
Yeah, I mean he's 210-1 is the best number you can find him on FanDuel. Rogers missed his last couple cuts, but he's still hitting it okay. But his record at Genesis is pretty staggering compared to the way he plays golf everywhere else. These are his most recent finishes at the Genesis, the last 5 years: 12th, 30th, 15th, 26th, 22nd. You probably can't find another. Actually, I'll guarantee you can't find another golf course on tour he's got a record like that. He putts like a madman on this golf course, and he's got plenty of pop in the bat off the tee. I mean, at 210-1, if you were going to throw one out there, it would just be the craziest thing ever, but we've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, Patrick Rogers was one that I looked at, and here's another one that I looked at, and I know the TJ listeners are going to hate me for even mentioning this guy's name again. But maybe we were a week early.
No.
Maybe we go back to Wyndham Clark this week.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Matt Wallace. Good
yeah, no. Fuck no. I divorced him. The divorce papers have been drawn up.
Yeah.
They've been drawn up. Somebody in the Nut Hut prepared them for me.
Okay.
And I'm divorced from Matt Wallace. So yeah. But Wyndham Clark, maybe we go. Look, this happens all the time when we talk about golfers. We're a little bit early to the party, and I think maybe last week we were a little early to the Wyndham Clark party, because then you look at him this week: top 10 last year at Riviera, top 20 in 2020. Long off the tee, a guy that's we talked about how guys can. He putts well and he's a good putter, by the way. So I think Wyndham Clark, I'm going to go back to him. You know what? I know he burned a bunch of people, and everybody's mad at Wyndham Clark. There's a certain guy in the Nut Hut. His name is Paul. Big fan of Paul. Paul was really hating some Wyndham Clark. But I think Paul, I'm speaking to you right now.
Just Pat and Paul in the room right now.
Paul, I'm speaking to you. First off, I want a little more positivity out of you.
Yeah.
Just wanting a little more, just a little more positivity out of you, especially on Thursday.
Yeah.
And second off, I think you go back to Wyndham Clark, and I think you trust me on this, Paul. And if it doesn't work out, Paul, it just is what it is.
There you go.
I apologize for it in advance, but I think we're gonna go back on the Clark train this week. So there you go. And then another guy that I think could be an interesting play, and I don't know why. I really don't. JJ Spawn, 250 to 1. 250 to 1.
I don't like him outright. He's in my DFS target.
I think he could be a DFS target, but I think if you don't want to take him outright, because I don't think he's going to win outright, then look at a top 20 maybe for him.
Yeah. All right, before we get to our PrizePicks segment, we're going to give you a few early likes for PrizePicks, and then we're going to talk about a few folks you definitely need to lock up and bet on right now. I do have to tell people, y'all probably got some coffee at home that's stale and it tastes nasty. It might even have a booger in it or something, but it's easy to get stuck in a rut and just drink what you always drink. You just keep drinking the same old crappy coffee. And instead of, standing in front of all the options at your grocery store, let Trade Coffee help you find something new to love. All right. Me and Pat been getting some Trade Coffee in our system. It's good stuff. They sell the freshest, roasted, and ethically sourced coffee beans from America's best independent roasters. They ship free to you as often as you like, whole or ground. Whether you're a coffee nerd or you just want a better daily cup, they're real coffee experts, taste test over 400 roasts, and use technology to match you to your ideal coffee based on your preferences and brewing method. It's very cool. When you go on the website, you go through this little thing. It's like getting fit for a driver online or something.
It really is.
Tell them how you like
coffee,
what flavors you like, what machine you use, all this kind of stuff. And then it spits out what you need. So you just take the coffee quiz, and the Trade Coffee guarantees you'll love your first bag, or they'll replace it for free. They've been featured on the New York Times, Wired, GQ. They delivered over 5 million bags of coffee. Their subscription is no hassle. You can skip shipments, change your frequency, or cancel at any time. It really has been good coffee. I've been enjoying it.
It's amazing.
I know you got a fancy new coffee maker, so you got.
And I love it. I have a way more fancier setup than you have. And let me just tell you,
don't talk down to me.
I won't talk down to you because this is
you had a Keurig before Christmas, so don't talk to me about that.
Yeah, this is a time where I can talk down to you. I have an amazing coffee setup, and let me just tell you, this coffee, it's amazing. It works. It's just the best stuff ever. It's so fresh.
Don't hijack my ad read and turn it into a 4-minute ad read. For our listeners right now, Trade Coffee is offering a total of $20 off your first 3 bags when you go to drinktrade.com/Tour Junkies. To get started, take the quiz at drinktrade.com/Tour Junkies. Start your journey to the perfect cup. That's drinktrade.com/Tour Junkies for $20 off your first 3 bags. Thanks to Trade Coffee. And yes, if you want to ask Pat about his coffee machine, hit him up in the Nut Hut in the cooking channel. We can include that in the cooking channel in there.
Yeah.
Great new addition to the Nut Hut, by the way, is the cooking channel.
It really is. It's fantastic.
A lot of fun. All right, Pat, PrizePicks. Dude, by the way, last week we announced the PrizePicks Road to Augusta contest. If you want to win a trip, the trip of a lifetime for you and a guest, all expenses paid, airfare, hotel for 3 nights. You're going to fly into Augusta, Georgia on Sunday night before the Masters. You're going to wake up on Monday. You're going to meet me and Pat at Champions Retreat, where they play the Augusta National Women's Amateur. We're going to eat lunch. We're going to play golf. We're going to eat dinner there. We're going to have a wild party night. It's going to be a blast. The driving range is going to be lit up. There's going to be a DJ, open bar out there. Well, not open bar, but we got you. Okay. Driving range, hit balls till midnight. Last year, I hit balls with Ted Scott over there, by the way, winning caddy for Scotty Scheffler this week. Great dude. Hit some balls with Ted Scott. And then we're going to go to bed. We're going to rest up because Tuesday morning we're waking up, and me, Pat, you, and the guest are going to go to the Augusta National. And you're going to get a Tuesday practice round experience with the Tour Junkies. None better to give you a tour of Augusta National, honestly. And we're going to have a great day. It's going to be a great time. You can do it. You just got to sign up for PrizePicks. If you're new to PrizePicks, you get 5 entries when you sign up using the code TJ. And you also get an entry for every PGA only contest that you play between now and March 14th, I believe. Don't quote me on that. In the description of this podcast and on the YouTube description is a link that you can click on. It'll take you straight there with the promo code built in. If you've already got a PrizePicks account, cool. You just have to fill out a Google form that is also in the link of the description and tell PrizePicks that you want in on the Road to Augusta contest. All you have to do is fill it out one time. You just fill it out one time, and then your entries, your PGA entries between now and March 14th will be counted. Every time you play one, you get an entry. And then on 3/14 on that podcast, we are going to draw a winner at random. So the more entries you have, the more likely you are to get drawn. We're going to draw that winner and start setting you up to come to Augusta. It's a fantastic event. PrizePicks is so much fun. We had a lot of fun getting into it last week. It was the first week we really dove in. The Nut Hut was chatting about it. We got a channel set up in there. Pat, you got the new Fantasy Golf Sommelier format hitting every Tuesday night late or maybe Wednesday morning, depends on when it happens, on the YouTube channel only. And let me tell you, if you're a podcast listener and you never go to the YouTube channel, you just need to go to the YouTube channel for Pat's FGS video. It's hilarious. And now this year, not only are you going to get wine, liquor, and beer knowledge and wisdom being poured out, you're gonna laugh, but you're also going to get Pat's favorite PrizePicks plays and all of that in like under 10 minutes. And last week, Pat, first week out the gate, you hit 3 of your 4 plays. Big week.
It was a big week. I was a little I had high hopes to hit 4 of 4, but 3 of 4 was okay. It is tough. This is not as easy as it looks, but it's a fun game. It's a great format. It's a little something different to sweat as opposed to just DFS, which we love, and bets and whatever else. But this is you can do it daily, and it's fantastic. So please go in and check it out.
Links in the description. Very nice. FGS this week, I assume, and I'm excited about that. Looking forward to it. I mean, dude, if you hit 3 or 4 of those every week, you're going to make people a ton.
I did very well on PrizePicks this past week.
Yes, you did.
I did not do well in the Super Bowl, but that's a whole different thing.
Same. All right, with that, every week on this show, we're gonna give you a couple early PrizePicks thoughts. I'm gonna give you about 2 or 3 plays. Pat's only gonna give you one because he's gonna save the rest for FGS. We're just gonna do a quick little Thursday, round 1 PrizePicks over-unders, what we're looking at. Pat, I will let you start. I want to make sure I don't steal yours, so I'll let you start.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with an under, which is, when you're looking at these, you kind of gravitate towards the overs a lot. But here's what I like. Okay. This is for scoring. Mark Leishman under 70. Okay. This is a par 71. I think he's going to go under on round 1.
I like that
for this. Okay, look, Leishman has.
I didn't even look at that. I like that.
If you look at Mark Leishman, he's, by the way, this year there's only 7 measured first rounds for him, but he's top 25 on the PGA Tour in scoring average for the first round. He's only had 71 was his highest score in those 7 first rounds. I think it may have been at Farmers actually, which is a very difficult course, but he tends to start off pretty good. So I like it for him to be at least 2 under in his first round, which would be a 69 because it's a par 71, like I said. So Leishman on the under to go under 70. I like that.
Man, I love that call. Actually, I didn't even look at that. Yeah. How did I miss that? He's got a great record here too. He loves this place. I'm big on Leishman as a whole this week. So love that. All right. I actually have a Leishman one too. I'll throw that out here. I think the over on greens and regulation at 10.5, you give it to him. Right now, he's hitting 73% of his greens and regulation over the last 24 rounds. That'd be good for 13 out of the 18 greens here. And he pounds greens and reg when he's here at the Genesis. So I like that. I'm going to give you a tough one here. I'm going to give you an under on Scotty Scheffler. Fairways, 7.5 fairways. Now you think to yourself, 7.5 fairways, DB. You don't think you can hit more than half the fairways?
They're tough to hit.
They are tough to hit, number 1. Number 2, think about this. Most golf courses, we have 14 fairways. Well, we have 14 technically fairways here at this course. But don't forget about the number 10 hole, the short par 4, that I think a guy like Scotty Scheffler is going to attempt to drive every single day. Now, if you've watched this tournament, a lot of guys that attempt to do that end up bailing out left. And they end up in a bunker.
They will not be in a fairway
or in the rough.
Yeah.
He's likely going to be in the bunker, the rough, or the green. Obviously, if he hits the green, it counts for a fairway. So I truly think there's for a guy like Scotty that's got the distance. I really think there's about 13.5 fairways. Maybe if that makes any sense at all, it may not. But even without that, right now he's averaging about 60% of fairways, which is actually on the low end. And I just think he's going to go for it. So, and he's had some poor driving performances here in the past. In 3 years, he has lost 5.3 fairways gained in the 3 years he's played the Genesis. That is compared to his average on the PGA Tour in his career. He's +1 all time. Now, yes, harder fairways to hit, but that's a pretty big difference. It's like a 6 fairways gain difference in 3 attempts here. So I think the under 7.5 for Scotty Scheffler's the play, and I like that over on Leishman. You know, we gave you 2 Leishman ones, but apparently we're high on him. So there's your PrizePicks plays this week. Finally, let's wrap this up, Pat. It's been a great show, exciting show. We threw out some names in here, you know, outright bets we like, but we've got the covers, early leans, and favorites we think you should jump on right now for outrights and top 20s. We're going to give you the favorite outrights and the favorite top 20s that we like, and I think you need to jump on them now. And I think there's some names we mentioned here. I think Willie Z, Leishman, Thomas Peters, those are 3 guys I think that we all like that are catching some steam. So if you want to jump on those, I think the numbers are going to get shorter. Morikawa and Homa, I might add to that list as well. I've seen a lot of chatter on those boys. For me, you know, I think Willie Z and Leishman, who we've talked about, and then I think it's List. I know people are laughing at my List pick, but he's a lot shorter on other books than he is at 80 to 1 on DraftKings right now. I found him shorter, and I think people are going to catch on. And they're going to say, yeah, I think I'll keep riding the List train when they start breaking down what he did last week. And it was a horrible week with the putter. So I think List is there for me, DJ, Willie, and Leishman. Those are my favorite outrights. Now, top 20s that I think you should hop on right now. We didn't talk about this guy, Francesco Molinari. It's a home game for Francesco now the last few years. He's now living out there in L.A. Member at Rivera, plays here a lot. He's had a good finish here recently at Riviera. He's 4 to 1 as a top 20. I don't like him outright. He's like 150 to 1 outright. I like the top 20 number on Molinari. That's a big, 4 to 1 is a big number for a top 20. I like the value though on him. We did talk about Patrick Rogers. He's plus 450 to top 20. I like that one. I can't let the show go by without talking about Maverick McNeely. Now, we just saw McNeely, not play great, but he's been playing great and he loves this place. And it suits him. And I don't know if I'm ready to bet him outright this week in this field. He's just not shown me enough to put all 4 rounds together. But a top 20 at plus 275 for Mav, I'll take it. And finally, a name that you mentioned, and you were surprised I didn't mention him, but it's because I was saving him for my top 20 play, Pat, is Gooch at plus 140. I think Gooch could be tired. I think it's like his 7th event in 8 weeks or 6th and 7 or something like that. He had a really tough round on Sunday that I didn't love watching. It's not that he can't win here, but I feel better about the plus 140 top 20 number on Gooch. I want to jump on that now. That's it for me.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a few here. For outrights for me, I still like Rory at 22 to 1. So I'll play him. I think that's a good number. Did you say Cam Smith at 22 to 1? I think you did.
Well, I did at the top of the show, but
yeah. But I like Cam Smith also at 22 to 1. He's one of my favorite bets this week. Also, Sam Burns at 40 to 1. I love that bet. And then if I'm going to give a longer odds bet as one of my favorites, I think Tringali at 80 to 1. I'll give that one. Now, top 20s, love Kevin Na plus 230.
Ooh, love? That's a strong word.
I do.
Love Kevin Na?
Plus 230. I love Alex.
Love Kevin Na? Okay.
I love Alex Noren at plus 250. I think that's a good one.
20, okay.
I like Patrick Rogers, which you mentioned already. I like Seabez, Christian Bezuidenhout at plus 300. I think that's a good number for him. And then Wyndham Clark. I'm going back in on Wyndham Clark plus 500. So 5 to 1. I like him as a top 20 as well.
There you have it. It's been a great show. It's been a jam-packed show. Again, thanks, everybody. We appreciate all the support. DB full-time, we're making it happen. We're going to have a great DFS show tonight. We're going to also talk about the players that we would, if a big group of them are going to leave and go to the Saudi league, we're going to tell you the guys we hope go ahead.
Get over. Move.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you kind of thing. That's going to be fun. TJ After Dark, presented by DraftKings on the DraftKings YouTube channel. By the way, 3 weeks out of the last 4, we've given you the outright winner on that 9-minute show. You should check that out. Don't forget Fantasy Golf Sommelier. Don't forget the Corn Ferry Tour show this week as well. Our boy Garrett Simmons. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, bend over your bookie, people. See ya. Out!
We're the Tour Junkies. We're the Tour Junkies. PGA Tour fanatics, golf addicts, podcast shoes, you gotta have it. Special guest, DFS, DB in them long shot bets. From Augusta to Sawgrass, we got your picks, we got your stats. Catch a buzz, catch a laugh, sip some rosé with Pat. Tour Junkies.